Journey is headlining the Concert for Legends at Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton. You want to go to that? HOFvillage.com is going to have details on it, but I'll have tickets for you, and highly suspect. But another pair of tickets for Rob Zombie in about an hour, and, of course, the Bill Squire Friday Get Down happens later on as well. That's brought to you by Cleveland Whiskey. And around these parts, it's how we know that the weekend is officially underway. Poundcake is at home. You are not hearing the Poundcake podcast. People are like, why is the Poundcake podcast playing behind the show? That's not what it is. It's Poundcake at home. Are you lying down?
No.
All right, I'm just asking.
He's sitting in a chair.
Yeah, okay. Oh, he is? Is he on camera?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, still on camera.
Mm-hmm. I'll have another $1,000 for you to win here in about 8 minutes. So 4:30 is going to be your second to last chance to win this week. So make sure you get your ears peeled for these keywords.
Hey, Mary. Kev from Cleveland. Do you think that maybe you're psychologically attracted to your boyfriend because he's so, as Alan likes to say, fastidious and clean and all that and organized? Because, like, you came up in a hoarder house. Just a thought. Love you, bye.
Is that how I say fastidious?
Fastidious. That is how you say it, actually, every time.
It's Poundcake's...
Poundcake's broadcasting from the hood. The hood
to
of
throw some hands.
West Park.
No,
he's not in West Park anymore.
Oh.
My thoughts are that your boyfriend is the way he is because he's a garbage man.
Yeah.
He's surrounded by chaos and refuse, and he's like, when I get home, I don't even want the whiff, literally and figuratively. I don't want the whiff of disorder.
Yeah, I don't know why he's
Is that too
like
simplistic of a...
I'm sure it has something to do with it. If you're driving around in a smelly truck touching other people's trash all day, yeah, you probably want things to be clean in your own home. But no, I'm very tidy myself. He's just another level of it. Like, I am tidy and neat and clean, but if I didn't do the dishes for a day or two, that's not something that would bother me. If I left the blankets unfolded or if I only vacuumed once a week, that would be something that isn't a big deal to me.
Are you supposed to vacuum more than once a week?
If you have a cat and hardwood floors, yes, you are.
Yeah, go around with a sucker.
Cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's probably something to that. But I don't like clutter. I don't like too much stuff. I mean, that's from growing up in a hoarder house where I'm like, I just need what I need. And then I will have tendencies to start to collect things, and then I'll do a purge and be like, all right, I haven't used this in a year. I need to get rid of it. But yeah.
How is the bonding between you and, or sorry, not you, your cat and your boyfriend? Because you said they had a moment and he's like warming up to her.
Dude, I think he loves her. Either that or he's the best actor in the world. Because every time we're hanging out in the back room at night and she comes jumping up on the couch, he's petting her and loving on her, and she's,
he
purring.
tolerates her. He has to. If he like, just like his daughter comes along with him, your cat comes along with you. So I mean, go along to get along, I suppose.
I don't think he
A cat and a child, the same thing.
Exact same thing. She's my cat child, right? I don't think he would be sad for 30 seconds if we got rid of her tomorrow. But I think he, like you said, he's tolerating her. He's warming up to her. They're getting along.
Are you concerned that his acting might end up being better than yours, and he ends up going Hollywood?
He doesn't have the time.
Dashing all of your dreams. He's the dark horse in this situation. You never saw him coming. The calls were coming from inside the house.
How? He didn't have time to be an actor.
I'm not saying he did. It's just that he's so naturally gifted that he goes, well, like Chris Pratt, right? Chris Pratt, one of those old Hollywood stories that never happens anymore, that like he's a waiter at Dick's Last Resort in Hawaii, and the casting agent goes, you've got something going on.
I like what you've got here.
Come back to California with me.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend's out on the garbage truck, and somebody's rolling their garbage out, and they go, you have a look, because he's got a look.
He does have a look.
He's tatted up. He's thin, right?
Yeah.
He's a vegan.
Vegetarian.
Very hip. Checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah. If
You're out there busting your ass trying to get these things to happen, and something like that falls in his lap.
He gets discovered on his garbage route.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be happy for him, but I'd also be like, dude, come on, man. What am I doing? I'm sleeping in my car, driving to gigs for no money. This guy throwing trash.
This is the thing, though. This is why you can't get jealous of people who have good fortune fall into their laps. You got to do your time. You can't do somebody else's time. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
What if he gets... This is a very real possibility. What if he gets discovered on his garbage route? What if?
I mean, that would be great for him. I hope that it does happen.
I mean, you refer to him as potentially a great actor. So I'm just wondering if somebody else, from your mouth to somebody else's ears, and they go, huh,
I've seen that guy.
Let's take a closer look at this guy.
Hold on. Do you have a cat that you hate that you act like you like? I got a role for you.
Yes, I do.
I got a role for you, buddy.
Yep. It's a new film with Jack Black.
He'd be ecstatic.
Yeah. Oh, he likes Jack Black.
He likes all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Everything you guys like, he likes.
Oh, yeah? I just finished, I dragged my feet on it so much, but I just finished the last season of I Think You Should Leave. I hadn't finished it.
Oh,
and I didn't realize that I hadn't finished it.
I almost killed myself, Julie.
Here comes a big
She got me
wave.
chode jeans.
Uh-huh.
4-inch inseam, 55-inch waist. Need for a chode.
Chode jeans. This guy wants to buy my bike. He lives so far away.
Yeah, right, dude. You come to me. It's
You
so
come to
far.
me.
Your voice is wildly high.
We have, what's her name?
Mary, do a quote.
No.
Come on, Mary.
I couldn't do one if you paid me.
Yeah,
That's what acting is. Pretending to be someone else.
But I don't even watch
It's
it.
never going to work out.
It is going to work out.
Have you been working on your New York accent for this part you're shooting on Sunday?
I have not. I'm not going to give it an accent.
Hey, I love the Beastie Boys.
Hey, you ever heard of pizza?
Hey,
Where your meatballs at?
hey, yeah, you
telling ya.
Subway.
If you want to stand out, that's
Yep.
how you stand out. Remember
D-Train.
Okay, and it wasn't over the top, but do you remember in the Michael Scott movie, Michael Scarn,
Threat Level Midnight.
Threat Level Midnight, they go to a bar, and Andy is the bartender, and he does a New York accent, and it's awesome.
It's very chill.
Yeah.
Almost unrecognizable. Where you're like,
But it's there.
oh, no.
Yeah, and it's like, that bartender is really popping. And he did. He was good in that. I think that's what you need to do. I think you need to channel Andy acting. And that's what's going to make this role probably bigger than the movie itself.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've cast you because they like what you're doing already. But if you get in there, a lot can happen between today and Sunday.
Yeah.
And if the writer or whoever's doing this has some kind of epiphany and they go, we need something different, we're just saying, trying to help you out, that you might have that arrow in your quiver to provide them with something different.
Do you guys want me to do this with a strong Italian New York accent?
No,
I could do that.
It doesn't have to be Italian.
No, it's
What's
like
Italian
Queens. It's
got
like
to do?
Queens.
Wrong or what? Or
That's not Italian.
something.
Now, she's just in New York. She could be from anywhere.
Exactly. She's not from New York. She wasn't born and raised
Here's
there.
the twist.
She lives in New York now.
She's from Albany.
Ah.
You got to
So
nail
she
the
sounds
Albany.
like us.
Yeah.
No, I think she should be from Delaware.
Okay.
You gotta do that.
Is there a Delaware accent?
Oh, there is.
I don't know it.
Dover, Delaware?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm from Dover. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's
just
kind of like
little-
a Philly accent, but it's a little
It's a little lilt.
goofier.
Little
Yeah.
lilt.
It's a
From
little
Delaware.
goofier.
No, I can't do any of that. I'm
Go
just
down
gonna,
to Rehoboth.
I'm gonna use my regular voice and see
Yeah.
what they think of it.
Well, clearly they like it. So, I mean, we certainly don't want to.
Not even really working on her character.
Listen,
me give you some money
like
here.
7 lines.
It's $1,000. But those 7 lines are all yours.
Did you
They
memorize
are.
them?
No, they're not memorized yet.
She's not off book with 7 lines. Okay, listen. Lady Macbeth here is going to figure out what she's got to do. I'm going to give you $1,000. It's a chance to go fuel yourself. Good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fuel yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword BANK at WMMS.com. That's BANK. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Rehoboth. There is a Dover, Delaware. There's also a Dover, New Hampshire. We have a bureau chief there, Alana. is a listener in Dover, New Hampshire. It is right on the border of Maine. Right on the border of Maine. If you cross the street in Dover, you're in Maine. Now, about 30 miles south of Dover, New Hampshire, there is a beach down there. There is, this is in Seabrook, New Hampshire. And there were a lot of people having fun there on the beach. Somebody accidentally blasted out the test warning from the Seabrook nuclear power station, telling people to evacuate. Everybody, because of the Russia thing, everybody now is like mentally freaked out about nukes. And these plants are kind of trying to, keep their head on a swivel. And they didn't mean to blast this out over the speakers at the beach, but they did. Hampton Beach is where this happened. And people understandably got freaked out.
Attention, there is a problem at Seabrook Nuclear Power Station.
I heard someone over a speaker say that there's a problem at the power plant and to stay away from the beach, and I thought it was scary.
People started coming out of their cottages.
Now, I love this
Cottages,
guy. This
yeah.
is the guy. People started coming out of their cottages.
This is great stuff.
It was scary.
People started coming out of their cottages. They couldn't believe, what we just heard.
We're seeing people run off the beach. We're pretty scared at that point.
Yeah, I mean, we played that New York City PSA the other day. They're like, if in the event of a nuclear attack, go inside. That's what they've got for us.
That guy sounds like Peter from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Scary.
People started coming out of their cottages. They couldn't believe, what we just heard.
I love that guy. But yeah, if you're on the beach and they go, there is a problem at the power plant, you'd kind of freak out a little bit. Because it is. It's like the early 80s all over again. You guys are too young to notice. But in the early 80s, it was the Cold War. Everybody was freaked out about nukes. There was a movie called The Day After that got shown on network television. I was like 12 years old, and teachers were telling parents and kids, don't watch this. Parents wouldn't let their kids watch it. It was about a nuclear bomb that goes off in Lincoln, Nebraska, and what happens in the aftermath. And everybody was flipping out. They're doing coming back from every commercial break, they have these disclaimers. I think ABC was the network that aired The Day After. And this was the Cold War, mutually assured destruction. This was the beginning of evangelicals going crazy for the right wing because Reagan
started with Lincoln, Nebraska,
middle of the country.
But why would you start there?
Because I think the conceit of the movie was that the Russians had sent a nuke over to hit the middle of the United States, and it was Lincoln, Nebraska.
But why
I don't think it had any strategic value.
Okay,
I think
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You think
I don't
try
know.
to aim a little better?
I don't know. Well, I mean, but this is Reagan gave his evil empire speech to the big evangelical conference right around that time. The godless Soviets. That was like the language in the 80s. You start throwing the word evil around in politics, you can lead religious people around by the nose. And that's essentially how that whole thing started.
Rage Against the Machine did the same thing. That's why they have so many religious followers.
That's right. Their album Evil Empire got people going. So, it's not a huge... Religion's inherently fascist. It's not a huge leap. The Vatican supported Mussolini, for Christ's sake. So it's not, but it's like we're back in the 80s again because of this whole thing with Russia and the nukes. They're like, we don't know what's going to happen. So in the power plant, somebody flips the wrong switch and the warning goes out over the beach speakers. Peter Griffin flips out there. Although he sounded pretty kind of laid back. Yeah, because, what are you going to do?
Kind of chill.
Still a day at the beach. If you got to die somewhere,
Right.
the beach.
You get hit by a semi, a nuke hits, whatever.
Right.
Out of their cottages. They couldn't believe, what we just heard.
They were coming out of their
Coming
cottages.
to their cottages.
Oh, I've got a honey. Let's go to the cottage.
Oh, we got a wonderful cottage.
So there's a lot going on there. When we were driving, the cemetery where my dad is buried is about 45 minutes outside the city because it's where my mother's parents are buried, and she wants to be buried there, and so that's where we buried my dad. And on the way, there's a nuclear power plant. And it's strange to see these rising from the, you kind of got to, Americans still need to kind of come around to nuclear power. But it's got so much kind of bad mojo associated with it because of nuclear bombs and,
things going wrong, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, all told, it's very rare.
I went to school at University of Toledo, and my high school sweetheart's family
The Mud Hens?
Yes, the University of Toledo Mud Hens. My high school sweetheart's family had a house in Port Clinton, and so when we were still seeing each other in college, I would drive from Toledo to Port Clinton a lot. And the first time I made that drive, you pass a power plant.
Is that the Perry plant?
Yeah, and I think it is at least. And I passed it, and I was like, it was the first time I'd seen one. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, can I be this close to it? Is it okay for me to drive on this road? Like, I didn't know anything about it because you hear.
Is my hair gonna glow?
Right. Well, that you hear those stupid jokes that old people make where they're like, oh, did they grow up next to the power lines? And then I'm like, oh God, if I spend too much time near this power plant, what's going to happen? Freaking out.
Well, the power lines would be different than growing up near a nuclear power plant,
But
though.
you don't know. I don't know the difference.
They aimed for Lincoln, Nebraska, because that was supposed to be where the most American missile silos were. Okay, there you go.
That's a strategy that makes sense then.
Right.
Now I get it.
That's why they talk about, Russia aiming at Seattle. Because I thought the most American missile silos were in the Pacific Northwest. I think Seattle has like the most nukes of any.
That's not a missile.
American city.
It's not a missile silo. It's called the Space Needle, not a missile.
Oh.
Duh, Alan.
Yeah.
What if, like, in wartime or something, when they fire the missiles off, the Space Needle just like leans back like a hinge, like a bunch of bombs come out.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It was under there the whole time.
I think it's cooler if the Space Needle itself takes off like
Is a missile.
a missile.
Oh.
People having dinner in
Wasn't
there.
that?
That was in a movie, I feel like.
Yeah. Was that a
Austin Powers?
Austin Powers movie or something? Yeah.
No, I mean the missile comes out of his butt
Yeah.
in one of them.
Nebraska is the headquarters for Strategic Air Command, which is in charge of all the U.S. nukes. Someone else says.
All right.
Okay.
So now it makes sense. Now I
So there is a
understand why.
strategic thing there. But all I know is watching that movie, because I begged my parents to watch it, because they were going to be along the lines of like, no. And I think the teachers didn't want the kids watching it because they're like, I don't want to
answer all these dumb questions that are going to come tomorrow.
No, I don't want you all sitting there, your face is all white and glazed over the next day. The cops are coming for Poundcake.
How to explain the nuclear holocaust to my kids.
Right. I want an orderly nuclear holocaust. Strategic Air Command is in Bellevue, Nebraska, adjacent to Omaha. So, yeah, the Russians could have aimed a little better. About 60 miles from Lincoln. Well, it's not. I was going to say it's not an exact science, but I bet missile directions are an exact science.
But it was the 80s. They didn't have.
They still had latitude and longitude. They still had directional.
Yeah, but you're still firing it from Russia.
Yeah, that's true.
There's going to be headwinds and stuff. It could get blown off course a little bit. I get it.
Headwind?
Don't be so,
like the owl in Harry Potter?
Don't be so hard on the Russians.
Don't be so hard on the Russians. That's the Davis-Bessie power plant. Perry is in far eastern Lake County. I didn't know that there were two that close to.
I have no idea.
I thought Perry was like the only one in this regional vicinity. I don't know either. I'm not up on my nuclear plants.
Yeah,
I bet if the Brown family took a family vacation to Chernobyl, I wouldn't have came back with anything.
Look at that. We got a break.
Yeah. He would have come back with radiation poisoning is what he would have come back with.
No, only there for a short amount of time.
That's all it
You would have
takes.
found a way.
How long do you think you have to be in Chernobyl before you get some kind of radiation poisoning?
Well, if they actually do day trips there, maybe a couple hours, maybe 6 hours.
I mean, you're probably right. I assume you've done the research. But
We'll never know because the Russians own it now.
Yeah, I sure wouldn't want to test it. Yeah, let me take a break. If you want to get a text, 35192 to get me there. You can leave messages for us anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.